All right, we're back with some week two NFL headlines, some things to look forward to, some things to plan your betting around, some things just to know about the NFL. First up, TJ Watt is expected to have a torn pectoral muscle. He's still getting a second and third opinion on it, but for all indications, he could be out for months, if not the rest of the season. Douglas, this is your team. I'm going to throw it to you. Get your instant thoughts.
I will tell you this, the way they played yesterday and with my opinion of Kenny Pickett eventually coming in, and I think he's good. I think Pickett will win games. That being said, if Watt is out, they go from potentially a 10-win team to a 7-win team. I think that his win share means that much to the Steelers.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if it's torn. You don't just get up and say, I tore my pec if
Hmm.
you don't feel that it is torn. Like I feel like
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it is just like partial, something where he can take 6, 8 weeks and then come back towards the end of the season. If it's not, it's going to be a long season for that defense. They got Malik Reed, I get it, but there's no one filling the void of Watt.
Yeah. I guess it's optimistic for Steelers fans that he's getting a second, third opinion. He's not, they didn't just come out and say torn pack, whatever, 3 months, 4 months,
Yeah,
whatever it is for the recovery. So I guess that's promising, but it's still a huge hit. I mean, just watch the game on Sunday or watch the highlights. He was everywhere. He is that guy, edge rusher, and you have to prepare for every single week.
yeah.
So
It's definitely going to be a shot to the chest if he's gone.
second news notes. This is going to be more towards me. Dak Prescott to have surgery on his hand, on a torn ligament in his hand. I think he had the surgery today, from everything that I read. He's expected to miss up to 8 weeks, as little as 6. I think it's going to be more towards 8. He's your franchise quarterback. He's the guy you're paying, $40 million a year to. You're not going to rush him back with a throwing hand injury.
Yeah,
And for him to have permanent damage in his hand, you're not going to rush him back. I think he's out at least 8, if not more. Um, this is a blow. If you had the Cowboys win total over, you're hurting right now.
yeah. That stings bad, but you could probably tell me this more than I could be certain on it. Last year at the end of the year, he looked bad too. Am I correct on that? Dak didn't look great.
He the off the it, I think a lot of it goes to coaching, in all
Yeah.
honesty,
Uh-huh.
but because their offense started to slow down. Yeah, they were the number one offense, total offense in football, but they had so many penalties. So many penalties. A big reason why they had yards is because they kept backing up because of false starts and holdings and whatnot. They kept having to go further and further to try to win games.
Yeah.
He looked fine at the end of last year. If he was on a team last year that has, if they had if he had a Buccaneers defense, or if he had a Steelers defense, he'd do fine.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys do have an okay defense now. Everyone talks about Parsons, and yeah, he's great. Besides him, it's good. It's not probably top five. I think last night showed that,
Yeah.
but um, it's going to be a blow. It's going to be a blow, and for people that know, I'm a person who I always bet against the Cowboys. I always bet against them.
Uh-huh.
I have to start betting on them
Yeah.
because
The
I
the,
have to
the
flip
money's
now.
gonna fall your way,
If I
especially now.
Because now if I want them to lose, I have to bet on them.
Yeah.
So now if they win unexpectedly, I get paid.
Yep.
So I have to flip my brain and be like, we just gotta bet the Cowboys, even though we want them to lose. I just want them to tank, get a draft pick, go from there. If you're not going to compete for the Super Bowl, just tank.
Yeah. I
So
couldn't agree more.
there's all the incentive in the world to tank. It's not like the NBA where there's a draft lottery. You'll know at the end of the year what draft position you have.
Yeah, for sure. They're not one of those teams, though. Same with the
No,
Steelers.
no,
It does
they'll
not matter. They got too much pride, if you will.
listen. I could see them trading for Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that.
I I really worry about it because Jimmy G is at $6 million. That's not much money. The Cowboys
No.
have like 20 million free in cap space. I'm worried that they'll give up like a second and a third for Jimmy G.
Think they're going to overpay for him for
I
a
think
rental, huh? Just to
I think
stay.
just for what however I think it's a 1 year contract. Like
Man.
I think Jerry would do it if he Jerry Jerry's not living on the reality time span. He's living on Jerry Jones's time span.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if I'm going to be around for next season.
Yeah. Honestly, I
So
mean, I get it.
he's pushing all the chips in, saying we have to win right now.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know how long he has personally. So he's just trying to win every single game right now, and he's not thinking about how to optimize this team moving forward.
Oh, Jerry.
It's not good.
It's not good.
I love Jerry for a lot of reasons, but I also hate him for a lot of reasons.
It's a love-hate, man.
That's why you shouldn't be your own GM.
Freaking jag off. All right, guys. And with this next segment, we're doing one we've done before. It's Take It Personal. I'm going to ask Trey 3 questions about the Cowboys. He is going to ask me in return 3 questions about the Steelers. After seeing week 1, there's going to be new questions, seeing that both of our teams have significant injuries as well. They could be very interesting. And leading into that, Trey, I'm going to kick it off with my first question. Dak is injured and out for multiple weeks after sustaining that finger injury, and surgery had went well today, I saw. What are the expectations for the Cowboys while he is gone? Not what you want. And B, to this question, part B, would you rather them trade a second for Jimmy Garoppolo or a fourth for Mason Rudolph?
Oh, that's a great expectations wise. Let's just say he's out 8 weeks.
Okay.
They can get. I'm not quite sure when their bye is, but let's just say they play 8 games. If they can win 2 games, I
Yeah.
realistically, I know they have the Bengals coming up. I think they have a couple division games coming up. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I think two wins if he's out 8 weeks, 2 wins would be, what you would expect. So maybe 2-9 then. 2 wins, maybe 3.
Uh-huh.
As far as trading, I don't think they go outside the building, but if you gun to head choice, give me the fourth. I think
Fourth for Rudolph.
I think draft capital is too important.
Yep.
Give me the fourth for Rudolph. Hey, this is your shot, buddy. You've been craving one. You've been craving one, and you've been crying about it in Pittsburgh, not getting a true shot at the job.
Yeah.
Here's your shot. Your offensive line sucks. You're gonna get killed. Good luck.
I think he'd be very happy with that opportunity, though. I do.
I mean, I don't know how he could complain. That's all he's been asking for is a shot. So
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
All right. So my first question for you, Hunter. Out of 10, rate the
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers defense before Watt was injured and what it is without Watt.
Oh, that's such a good question. Anyone that sees this that's like, oh, I'm a Yenzer. We're heading down to the river to eat
Down to the river.
catfish, whatever. Anyone that's just like
Eat catfish? Where are they getting catfish from?
right out the river, but barehanded. Anyone that I watch Steeler games with, they're not gonna like. They're not gonna like my
characters. Yeah,
they're not gonna like my answer. But I would rate it on Sunday when Watt played. I'd give it a 10. That day specifically,
scary.
it was unbelievable how well they played. And like Mixon had success on the ground, which our run D's never really been good. But even they like in the second half kept him in check.
Yeah.
So that being said, if he's gone, I think it goes down to like honest to God a 6. Like I think it's that big of a drop off. He's that important, man.
Well, defensive player of the year
for a reason. And he made a case to say, I'm coming for it again yesterday. I mean, what a pick, a forced fumble, 2 sacks, deflection.
It was ridiculous. That pick was unbelievable.
The play where he blew by Lyle Collins and just destroyed, I don't know if it was P. Ryan or Mixon in the backfield. Kind of looked like it wasn't nearly as hard, but like Jadeveon Clowney when he was in South Carolina. He just right through and just ate him up in the backfield. And he's just unbelievable. So I'm really hoping it's not major, but I have a feeling it's going to be after these second and third opinions. I don't like that he's going for those, but yeah, I'd probably say it went from 10 to then a 6.
Okay.
With my second question to you, Peters, somebody like that, a veteran. I know he's injury prone and things of that nature.
Your video cut out for a second. I couldn't hear
I'll
it.
I'll restart
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
segment. Is that all right?
Just
Okay.
restart from the question.
The
Just say with my
question. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. With my second question, Dallas obviously has some offensive line injuries. We've talked about that,
Yeah.
you and I. And now adding Connor McGovern to that list
Mm-hmm.
is just making the matters worse. Should they be on the phone with Jason Peters, even though he's about 40 years old and injury prone? Would that do anything beneficial?
He's Peters is on their practice squad. They signed him to their practice squad right now. He needs to get in shape from everything that I've heard. So he's in the building. I think they brought him in more as an emergency,
Yep.
but as to be a mentor to Tyler Smith,
Okay.
who he was at left guard all training camp and preseason. Now he has to jump to left tackle. I thought Smith did pretty well. I mean, considering
Yeah.
he went against Shaq Barrett and Joe Tryon, and I thought he looked pretty well. I knew he was going to be good in the run game, pass game. His technique looked awful,
Uh-huh.
but he blocked. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess sometimes that works, but he has a lot of technique and a lot of things to fine tune. But all in all, Peters, I think I think they brought him in one to be a mentor, but also um, if Smith can't handle it at tackle, they were going to put him there and move Smith back to guard. But like I said, technique things, if he can get them worked out, I don't think Peters needs to play.
Yeah.
I think he's more of your break in case of emergency,
Yeah.
fire extinguisher type thing. So
Hey, it's nice to have that though.
yeah, I know he's 40 plus, but he played for the Bears last year. The Bears offensive line wasn't good, but he for 40 years old playing offensive line, he looked fine.
Yeah, I would agree.
So moving on, you talked a lot about the Steelers offense and just the preseason and what things would be different without Big Ben. Was the offense better, worse, or about what you expected in week one?
Oh man. Worse than
Wow.
worse than what I expected. I didn't expect a lot, but I feel like I got nothing at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that Najee goes down, but the O line, it all starts with the offensive line. Like I know I'm blaming Trubisky for a lot, as he should be. He's the quarterback. He's the guy he's got to be the one who's making the pedals turn, really. But the O line is horrible. They are so bad. Chuks Okorafor is the only one who looks like he knows how to play football. Like they are, and that's not good that it's him.
Well, it's also one of those things. If you look at that offensive line, there's not much draft capital there.
No, there's none.
I mean,
There's none.
Kendrick Green was a 3rd-round pick.
Third round pick.
Chuks was a 5th or a 6th.
Yep.
Dan Moore was a 5th or a 6th. They just
Yep.
haven't invested. Like people can blame the offensive line all they want, and they could say the players are bad. They're not high draft picks. They're
I'm
not expected to
the,
be.
Yeah, not blaming the players themselves. I mean, they do stink, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not their fault. They weren't expected to be good in the first place. The biggest problem with me, though, is still Trubisky, man. I mean, we should have blew the doors off Cincinnati. If your defense gets 5 takeaways, Burrow throws 4 interceptions and fumbles once, and not to mention one goes to the house. So right there, that's 7 points.
Yep.
How you do not win that game easily is beyond me. It's unfathomable.
Yeah, they definitely got to work on the passing game. I mean,
sure.
you could tell even if it's one training camp, there was not a connection for a lot of that game.
Yeah, it was horrible, dude. I was not pleased, and we'll get into our picks for, in our next episode or whatever, but I'm just not fond of how we looked at all offensively. My third question to you, and it's pretty straightforward. I watched the game last night between the Cowboys and the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
one thing stood out to me in that game more than anything else, whether over the Dak injury, Connor McGovern going out, Brady in the box, anything. Do you think Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in football?
It's not with TJ Watt out. It's not even close. He's the best defensive player in football.
I agree.
Aaron Donald looked fine on Thursday night. Not no, he did not play as well as Parsons played. I think I saw a graphic today that was from Pro Football Focus that had Parsons at an edge rushing win rate of 60%. That means you're at least creating a pressure or a hurry.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous. 60%. The next guy was like at 40. He
so he's dominating. It's
he's
not even close.
if they could put, and I think this is what they're doing, and I hope they keep whatever happens to McCarthy. I hope they keep Dan Quinn because I see what he's doing with this defense. This defense could be scary.
Yeah,
If they get a true middle linebacker to play in the middle, not Leighton Vander Esch, a true good middle linebacker, put him on one end, put the young Sam Williams second round pick this year on the other end. This defense could be really scary. It don't even matter who you have at defensive back because just those two off the edge and someone who can play in the middle and stop runs between the tackles, it could be the scariest defense in football.
yeah.
But he right now he's when they they who is it Donovan Smith was the left tackle for Tampa when he went down and they lined up for the next play and I saw Parsons over I said
I knew you were grinning.
I said, Dad, this is going to be a sack. I said, this tackle has no shot. And Parsons really went right around him. Little rip roof, dipped the shoulder, went right into Brady. He had no shot at blocking Parsons right out of the gate.
The play that I loved the most from him last night, he lined up against, I believe it was Tristan Wirfs. Did Wirfs play? Was it Wirfs at right tackle?
Yeah, Wirfs was at right tackle.
Dude, I mean, blew by Wirfs. And we're talking about a top tier right tackle. Blew by him.
Mm-hmm.
Was not even close to really getting two hands on him at all. And I was like, dude, this guy's different, man. Like, this is going to maybe sound a little early, a little blasphemous. We're seeing like this generation's, this technology's version of Lawrence Taylor. Like, he's that special.
Give me, I'm trying to think of a defensive, like Vita Vea.
Yep.
As someone who played offensive line, only in high school and, a year D2, but give me a Vita Vea to block. Give me a 350-pound monster.
Yeah.
Do not give me Michael Parsons. You can't win. Because you think he's going speed and he'll run you over. You think he's going to run you over, he'll go around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
He has that Aaron Donald ability where he can beat you any way he wants.
Yep.
It's so scary.
It's scary. Yes, it is.
And my last question for you, Hunter. As of right now, we're recording this. It's 8:00 on Monday night. The Steelers right now are 1-point underdogs at home.
Yep.
To New England in week 2.
Yep.
Do you agree with that line? And if not, what should the line be?
I think that, well, TJ Watt will for sure miss the game. I got a notification from Schefter earlier. Everything came back negative with Najee.
Okay.
He is expected to be able to play Sunday as of now. That could change as the week goes on. I think the line's about right. Usually if you have home field, you get about 2 to 2.5 points. It's like the old saying, like you're in your favor. Whoever's home would get that in their favor. So the saying on a neutral field, the Patriots would be like 3.5, 4-point favorites.
Yeah.
I think the line is probably right. I think it's going to be really close. I don't want to give picks too early here. I like New England though right now. I want to see how the week leads in because Mac Jones said he has back spasms, but they're going to run the ball down our throat, dude. They're going to run it down our throat.
If the Patriots, when I'm looking at this bet, I don't know what the line is right now. If I look at this game and it's, if it's under 35, I'm taking the under.
I think you should. The under is probably a great pick.
Both teams are just going to try to load the box and run the ball.
Yeah.
It's and the Steelers passing game didn't wow me. The Patriots passing game looked horrible.
Horrible. Yeah. So, well, that's because he's throwing to Kendrick Bourne and I
So
mean,
that game, that clock is going to keep churning, and it's just going to be a slow molasses game where you're just not going to be. It won't even come close to 5 touchdowns.
yeah. So I every week put in a same game parlay for the Steelers, and I will not be taking any anytime touchdowns. I would not be shocked if this game is nothing but field goals and any like yardage, like receiving yards, rushing yards. I will be taking the one that has the worst odds for
Yeah,
me, where I barely make any money, just because I don't see there being a lot of stats in this game. I see it being gritty, run the football, kick a field goal,
yeah.
punt it. I see a lot of that. So I'll be staying very far away from this game. And as far as the spread goes, as of now, I probably won't touch it either. I just don't like this line at all.
I'm either taking the under or the Steelers because I absolutely hate the Patriots this year. I think they're bad. I understand it's hard to bet against the Patriots, and then still in people's minds, I don't think they're a very good football team,
Yeah.
regardless of Belichick.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, and we're back with the episode Lee. I guess it's episode Lee because it's not daily and it's not weekly because we have more than one a week. Episode Lee draft.
Yep.
And this one is an idea that Hunter had for the NFL uniforms draft. I think it's a pretty good idea. We're talking about NFL. Makes sense to talk about NFL uniforms at some point. I like it. I am going first in this draft, and I think this is a slam dunk number one. Give me the Chargers.
Ah, man.
Love the color pattern. Love the bolt. And I guess the question I had for you, Hunter, is going to affect. That was my 1-1. No matter
Uh huh.
what. What is this? Are we taking their uniforms today? Are we
You can
taking
take any
any
variation of it that you
easy?
wish.
It was still my number 1-1.
Yep.
The powder blues. I understand they. I think they wear them from. They wear them now, but when they would wear them like 3 games a year, it would just be such an eye catcher on your TV. Like back in the Philip Rivers LT days, when they brought the powder blues out, it was just like, wow, I got to watch this game.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Chargers, love the bolt, love the color scheme. Give me the Chargers.
It's a fair. That was my number one as well. So with my first pick, I'm going to take the Raiders.
That was my number two.
I love the black and silver.
Mm-hmm.
It just mean like it just looks like football. I know that
Mm-hmm.
maybe doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
to anyone who doesn't understand that, but like when I think of football, I think of like a Raiders uniform. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I think they're sweet. I love the color scheme. Black's my favorite color, even though it's technically like not a color or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Well,
But
it's just your email, but
a little bit, yeah, I guess. Uh, but yes, I definitely
do you fall in
love
love
the
with an emo
Raiders.
girl like Machine Gun
No,
Kelly?
no, I did not.
Okay. Just
No
wondering.
MGK for me. He's a little weirdo.
I'm torn with this pick because I don't know where you're. I think those two picks were pretty easy.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure where you're gonna go with your next pick,
Uh huh.
so I'm just gonna take my number three. That's the Miami Dolphins. I'm not
That.
taking their uniforms right now. Let me just put that. I hate their helmet. Their
Uh
new
huh.
helmet with like the skinny dolphin. Give me the fat dolphin.
Yep.
Give me the fat dolphin with like the bumpy logo.
Uh huh.
The bold letters with the bold colors were so much better than what they are now. They look ugly now. I don't like them now, but those throwback merino ones,
Yep.
oh my
That's
goodness, were they beautiful?
odd enough. That was my third. It literally says right here Dolphins and then in parentheses
I
Merino.
know. Yeah.
So that would have been my third, but or my second, sorry. My second pick will be I'm going with a jersey that's from this year actually. The Bengals with
Okay.
the white and the white helmets. I think that they're awesome, dude. They look so cool. I think that that's the best uni in football now. Are
Wow.
those? I love them that much.
Wow.
I think that they're just so clean.
I'll tell you what, Bengals didn't make my list. So
I don't. Hey,
you could have had that at pick number five.
that's okay. I'm gonna take them there. I love them that much. I absolutely think that they're stellar and sharp as could be, though.
Well, that leaves my number four still on the board, and I'm going to get him with my third pick. Love that. Give me the 49ers. I
It's a
think
great
some
pick.
of the best helmets in football. The
Yeah.
gold helmets with the sharp red logo. I'd like to see them. I know they have the all blacks now. I'd like to see them get a little more creative, maybe with like a gold or
Yep.
something, could just go all gold. I mean, maybe all gold would be too much, but if you go gold helmet, gold jersey, like white pants or something, I think
Yep.
those could be clean. But no, I mean, one of the, if not the best helmet in the NFL.
That's a really good pick. They were on my list as well. With my third pick, I'm going to take the Randall Cunningham Eagles.
Okay.
I love those unis. I hate Philly everything so much, but those unis are just so sweet. I've wanted one of those jerseys since I've been a kid, never got one, and I had quite a few as a child. I don't really buy them anymore just because I don't really wear a lot of jerseys, but I wanted a Reggie White so
hmm
bad as a kid, and I never got it. But the logo was so awesome.
Yeah, I like the pick being specific to that time period, but I didn't have the Eagles on. I think there's other better jerseys.
Can't hate.
With my fourth pick,
Yep.
I'm going to take. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys. I can't believe they're there. They're, you know what you're getting. I wish they could just wear the white unis every week. They wear them at home anyways, but I wish they could just wear the white every single week. I wish they didn't have to throw out those blues. But the white jersey with the bold blue letters, the gray pants, the star on the helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Americana at this point. So just give me the Cowboys. Clean. They're just clean uniforms. There's nothing that you go about them. They're clean. You know what you're getting. I
Straightforward type of
and,
guy.
and I like the uniforms, like not so much just like the original teams, but like the teams that have like the big bold block letters and like
Yep.
that have kept pretty much the same uniform throughout their years. I
Yep.
always tend to like those teams more.
Yeah, as you went with a homer pick, with my fourth pick, I'm also going to be doing the same. I'm going to take the Steelers, but my favorite Steelers are the color rush. I love the all
Okay,
black
the all black, but the
with the
block letter.
yep, block letter with the yellow on the inside of it, or the gold, sorry.
hmm
I just think that they're really sharp. They're my favorite ones. If I bought a jersey for the Steelers, that's what I would look for as a color rush. Which I won't do. They're not worth me spending my money on.
Yeah.
Just not. But that is definitely where I'm going for four, and that's an easy pick, obviously, because I love the Steelers.
Another team that wasn't on my list.
I
Like
don't
I said,
blame you.
it's a team that you have to either take the color rush or you take in like the '80s and just
Yep.
have one.
Yep.
I guess that was Miami for me, but I just like Miami's colors better. I'm stuck because I got 5 through 10 or 5 through 11 that I'm looking at that they're all basically the same to me.
Yep.
Only one difference that sticks out, so I guess I'll take them. Give me the G-men. Give me the Giants.
It's not a
The
bad
only
pick.
reason why this sticks out to me, and I'll give some of my other ones once you pick yours here.
Uh-huh.
I love the Giants helmet that doesn't have the NY, but it says Giants with the underline. I
Yeah.
think that's one of the best when it's like chrome. I think
Uh-huh.
that's one of the best looking helmets in the history of the NFL. Their colors are pretty basic. I wish they would wear their reds more. I wish they wore like four times a year. They pop out them reds because I think that just catches people off guard with the blue helmet, red jersey, white or gray pants. I
Yeah.
love those two.
I have nothing to argue. I'm liking your list a lot, to be honest. With my last pick, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers. I
They-
don't know why I love the Packers uniform so much. And I'm not a green guy. I really don't
no,
care for the color green. There's just something about them, how
they're
they go
too
well.
they're too ugly colors.
That I
The
think it's why
green
they work so well.
it just it makes you want to puke if you look at those colors. Like if someone's really fast on the Packers and the
Yeah.
green's a little bit of a blur, it makes you want to puke. That's how ugly the colors are.
Yeah, they're ugly, but like they go well together.
Yeah,
So it's a weird combination. But yeah, I'm gonna
yeah.
just take the Packers
It's like when
home
you're at
jersey
Walmart. When
specifically
you're at
at
Walmart,
5.
if you're at Walmart and you see two ugly people like holding hands in the frozen pizza aisle, you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
like I could see
nice.
that.
All right.
But
Okay. The frozen pizza aisle.
so my five are the Chargers, Dolphins, 49ers, Cowboys, and the Giants.
And my 5 are the Raiders, the Bungles, the Eagles, the Steelers, and the Packers.
I have four that didn't get taken. I have the Patriots. I like their ones now. They're pretty good because they have the big block lettering. but I really love the red jersey ones
Oh
with like
man,
the football. I don't even. There's a name for that
the
logo.
I think they're the
It's like a Patriot snapping a football.
yes,
I don't know. I forget. It's like
they AFLs.
yeah, but they're like I'm talking about like the guy, the logo. He has like a specific name. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know it.
don't know.
Um, the other ones I had the Bills. Again, love the block lettering. I think they're just simple and clean. Saints, same thing, block lettering, simple, clean. And then the last one, I just love the color orange. Give me the Broncos. I hate when the Broncos wear all white. I think it's an ugly uniform. They're all whites, which I'm looking at with the screen that game just started. They're wearing all whites. It's ugly. They need to have some either orange pants or something. Yeah, if you're gonna wear white tops, wear orange pants because it just looks terrible.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I love their orange jerseys.
I had one more that you didn't name, but it is specific. The Vikings color rushes I really like a lot.
Okay.
I was huge on the color rushes when they came. I thought they were a really cool idea, but some of them were really bad ideas as well. The ones that are
Yeah.
just all white, like, what are you doing, huh?
Well, I don't. The Cowboys all white is pretty clean.
Uh,
I'm
come
not
on.
being biased. I love when they wear those all whites because they don't have like some teams will have I'm looking at the Broncos right now. They have like a big blue stripe on the side of their pants and on the side of their jersey. Cowboys don't have that. It's
Yeah.
literally just a white jersey with blue lettering, pretty much all white pants. They might have one like little skinny stripe on the side,
Uh-huh.
and like the regular helmet. So I think those are all right.
Yeah. I'm not hating too much. So
All right, and now we have the big game previews of NFL Week 2. Let's start off with a game that's tonight. Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs are 4.5 point favorite. The over/under at 54.5. Hunter, I want to get your thoughts. You go first on this one.
um so I'm gonna get more into this when we do our picks, but I like the Chargers to cover 4.5. This is a dangerous that 4.5 point and then like 7.5. Those
Mm-hmm.
are dangerous spots, especially when it comes to the NFL, just because there's so much more talent. So I like the Chargers even without Keenan Allen to probably cover that. Not saying they're gonna win the game. I don't believe they will, but I like them to cover and probably lose by a field goal or something of that nature.
I'm gonna fade you on that one. I think this Chiefs team looked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think they it's gonna be different for the Chargers to have to game plan them when they don't have Hill. I think it's a different team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a short week for that Chargers defense to have to prepare for. Give me the Chiefs to score a lot of points. I'm taking the Chiefs -4.5. Also, give me the over 54.5. The last three times the teams have played, the total's gone to at least 54, if not over. So I think on a short week, with defenses not having a lot of time to prepare, give me the offenses to score. I think the Chiefs just keep scoring, and maybe the Chargers have a couple possessions where they don't score.
Yeah, I do like the over a 54 and
Yeah.
a half for sure. I don't know. Something about it tells me it's just gonna be gritty and it's gonna stay close. I could see it ending something like 34-30 or 35-31. So the over would hit, but they'd cover barely.
Yeah. Also,
It's
I
just
mean,
a dangerous spot. I don't know.
I think it's going to be a dangerous environment for the Chargers. You
Yeah,
know,
oh for
you
sure.
had a Chiefs fan base who had their team ripped apart in the offseason and said they weren't going to be good enough. They go out and drop 44 points in Arizona. That fan base is going to show out on Thursday night.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, our next game, a 1 o'clock game on Fox on Sunday. The Bucks in a divisional matchup head to the Saints. Bucks 2.5 point favorites. Over under 44.5. I'm taking Tommy B again. I think this team is locked and loaded. I love this team. I think the Saints had to wake up in the fourth quarter against the Falcons. I like what I saw in the fourth quarter from the Saints. If they can play that all the time, I might bet on them more. But I mean, I'm just think about betting if the two quarterbacks. If I tell you the two quarterbacks for a game, one's Tom Brady, one's Jameis Winston. Just
I mean,
I mean, and who are you betting on? I'm taking
yeah, no,
Brady
I'm going
99% of the
Brady.
time. That's the only fact I have to give you about that game.
So I also am taking the Bucks -2.5. I don't feel so confident in doing so. Brady's
Yeah.
the sole reason I'm doing it.
Hmm.
But the last four times they played, Saints won all 4 games
Yeah,
with Brady
sure.
there. Yeah.
I
So
don't think that's something Brady takes
that
lightly either.
now that being said, though, Tampa is going to win. They're going to cover. And the reason I say that is because when they played Dallas week 1, they're a couple plays away from the score realistically being 35-3. And the Saints just struggled to
Yeah,
beat the Falcons.
yeah,
So I'm just rolling with the hot hand here, is kind of why I'm taking my pick. And it's Brady. That's all I need to say.
yep.
Brady,
Brady
through
versus
his
Jameis.
career, through his career covering the spread, he's at like 65%. Like, it's
Yeah,
remarkable. If you bet on Brady from the
Brady.
time he's been in the NFL, $100 per game, you're winning
Yeah,
a lot of money, man.
yeah.
So I like
Anything
him.
within a. I saw that line underneath a field goal, and I loved it.
Yep.
Third game, Dolphins at Ravens. It's a 1 o'clock game on CBS. I can't give up on Mike McDaniel. I love this guy. This guy's an absolute electric factory. He did. If anyone saw the video from the locker room post game, that team adores that guy.
Yeah. Oh, they love him for
Already,
sure.
that team will go out and die on the field. They'll literally just do anything to win for that guy.
Yeah.
And so Dolphins covering up 3.5. Give me it all day. Anything over a field goal, I love.
So my answer here is going to be contradictory, kind of. If J.K. Dobbins plays with no limitations, I'm fading you. I like the Ravens to cover 3.5 in
I
Baltimore.
don't. I saw him in practice leading up to last week. He was still limping. I don't think there's
So
no restrictions.
if he
Yeah.
if he's not playing or he's on limited snap counts, I'm all with you. I'm going to take the Dolphins. So I'm not touching that game obviously until Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know the line. I take a risk of the line moving a little bit.
Well,
But
pick him you gotta take one for the pick 'em for the competition.
Give me the Dolphins plus 3.5. I'm going to
Okay.
anticipate that he's not going to be 100% yet.
Okay. I just want to make sure because we always keep the big games in the pick 'em contest. So
Yep. Yep.
not the last game. Sorry, fourth game. Bears at Packers. That's Sunday Night Football.
Oh yeah.
Packers minus 9.5. Over unders 42.5. I would love to get your thoughts on this one first.
Oh yeah. As much as I want to roll with the bad man, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, I will be fading him. I like the Bears to cover 9.5. That's a lot of points in the NFL, man. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. Chicago looked great in bad weather conditions. Fields looked good. Not great. Good. Sorry, good. As good as they could have.
I think they took advantage of a quarterback who does know how to play in elements.
Very true.
I think they played against a quarterback who played all of his college games in a dome.
Their defense is solid, and they don't have anyone to throw to, man.
The Packers?
Like, Packers don't have.
They'll step up.
If Lazard plays it, that's their best shot at covering. But I like the Bears. Give me the Bears.
What happened
to
the Romeo Dupes hype?
I'm still on it.
Okay,
I'm still on
you just said they have no one to throw to.
Still, dude, they don't play him. Last drive of the game last week, they didn't put him in.
Maybe that'll change.
Maybe it should. He was their best receiver last week.
I will be taking the bad man. My thoughts on this game. Hold on, let me just get to them here. So I read this headline. I just want to make sure I have it right. Aaron Rodgers is a part owner of the Bears organization. I think I saw that sometime last year that he owns the Bears.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to make sure. So I don't think legally the Bears can cover 9.5 against Rodgers when he owns them. I think the Bears got extremely lucky with the weather last week. I really do. I think they're probably just a team made to muck it up and keep games tight. I didn't really check the weather in Lambeau. I don't think that there's going to be a 3-day monsoon like there was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Where the ground is literally mush. So I'm taking the bad man at 9.5. I talked last week about the Packers, and I said, do you remember 38-3 against the Saints last year? I don't think Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers will let it happen again. Well, they did. They stunk it up.
Yep.
Shout out our friend Mason. Your Packers stink.
Okay.
But the Bears stink more. And I think Rodgers at home lights them up a little bit. Packers aren't going to win the Super Bowl. I'll tell you that on September 14th. Not going to win the Super Bowl. Go ahead, clip that. But I'm taking the Bears I'm taking the Packers to blow out the Bears, probably like 42-10 something. It gets
I
ugly.
so I wouldn't hate seeing that just because I do root for the Packers. Like if I had to pick an NFC team, that's who I like to root for. I'm solely going off of just the nature of it with the lack of weapons, not having the same weapons, Devontae Adams, that they had last year. And I think the offense is still, it's a learning curve. You got two rookies out there. Lazard's coming off a foot injury or a leg injury, whatever it was. So I'm just going to take the points here given to me with the Bears. I think the Packers win. I just think that the Bears will cover 9.5.
Monday Night Football, Minnesota at Philadelphia. Eagles -1.5 favorites. Over under is 51.5. I have a pretty strong take on this game, Hunter, but I want to hear yours first.
Yeah. So I'm taking Minnesota here.
Okay.
Dude, Justin Jefferson is unguardable. I don't know what Philadelphia is going to do. And I saw a stat when Jordan Davis didn't play, he must not be in the, greatest shape because obviously based on his size. So he can't play every snap. But when he wasn't in there, Detroit averaged 10.8 yards a carry. When he wasn't there, they only averaged 2.3. So he's a run stopping monster, which we all knew when he was coming out of the draft. That being said, I'll take Dalvin Cook over Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenneth Gainwell any day of the week. Or DeAndre Swift, sorry. DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift.
Williams. They played him last week, is what I'm saying. The Eagles played the Lions last week, and they still got ran all over by those guys. I'll take Cook over both those guys. And I don't know who's guarding Jefferson. You got Thielen. Kirk looked good. And I love their coach. I love him. I think he's great, dude. Great.
I have one note for this game.
Okay.
I have two bets. I have two bets for this game. I have one note. Kirk Cousins in prime time. Kirk Cousins in prime time.
Boy. What's his record? Probably
I don't have his record. I just know it stinks.
It's got to be
when
bad.
the lights are on and there's a national audience on him, he stinks. Justin Jefferson could be open all he wants. Kirk Cousins will be seeing ghosts in prime time. Something about that guy when the lights go on, when there's a national audience, he seizes. He not freezes. He has seizures on the field.
That's nice. Okay.
He literally can't play football. He can't play football when the lights are the brightest. Give me the Eagles -1.5. That line I think is a little too low. I think people don't realize how good the Eagles are right now. And also in the game, give me the under. One, I'm fading Cousins. I don't think the Vikings score that much. And the defenses will have an extra day to prepare, which is always good for the under. Yep. So give me under 51.5.
I like the under as well. All right, next we're going to jump into our cards, our plays of the week, everything. And the only thing we're not hitting on is best bet. We're saving that for the best bet segment, obviously. So my best bet will not be in here, though I will probably play it multiple times.
I hope we don't have the same one, by the way, because we didn't communicate.
I don't think we're going to.
All right, you can say it. I mean, I can cut it out of this. Take another touchdown.
Easy.
What is it? -700?
No, it's like -1 something actually. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's better than what Taylor's was, but
I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't be feeling good on picking the side anyway.
I feel pretty good with these picks. I pray to God because I need it after last week, buddy.
All right. Go ahead.
Clip that. Clip that and save that little piece for me.
I feel pretty good, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, so next we're jumping into our NFL Week 2 cards. I'm going to go first. Trey will go second, and we're saving our best bets for the next segment, obviously. My first one, I got Bucks -2.5 versus the Saints. Very good spot for Brady. He has not beat them in the regular season. I don't know if he played him in the playoffs or not since he's been in Tampa, but since he's been in Tampa Bay in the regular season, he's 0-4. I think that will come to an end. He will cover the 2.5 spot against the Saints. Next, I have 4 plays, I think 5 plays actually, for the Chargers and Chiefs game. I love an Austin Eckler anytime touchdown a lot. Think that is, if you could put a lock on something, that's it. Chargers +4.5. I already alluded to that in the previous segment. I just think that it's going to be gritty and tight, but I do love the over as well, 54.5. I'm taking Mahomes over 275 passing yards. I think that's probably the easiest bet there is. He's going to throw for 300. I watered it down even. I think his over-under is 296.5. I'd probably take the over on that as well if I had to pick. And my last one is another anytime touchdown, little bold sleeper, but I'm feeling good. I got this locked in already. It's already placed on FanDuel. Juju, anytime touchdown score. I think he scores this week against a Chargers secondary who will be planning for Travis Kelce. So I think that the spot is there. The value is there. With my next one, I'm going Bears plus 9.5 versus the Packers. I alluded to that already. I just think that the Packers offense is still trying to find its rhythm, and that will benefit the Bears. Not that the Bears will play good. I just think the Packers need to figure some things out. They will win the game, but the Bears will cover. I got the Steelers plus 2.5 versus the Patriots. I actually bounced off of this. When it was 1, I told you I liked the Patriots. 2.5, I'm not making the same mistake. If Najee's playing especially, I love this for the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I think it's a really good spot. Without Watt, it doesn't matter. I'm not believing in Mac Jones's weapons to get the job done. Lions, for the first time in 24 games, are favorites against the Washington Commanders. And I'm riding with cutting off a kneecap, biting off a kneecap Campbell. I'm taking the Lions minus 1.5 to beat Wentz. This is eerily similar to last week's game, Jacksonville and Washington. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You bet on Washington, the Lions will end up winning. You bet on the Lions. Why'd you bet on the Lions? But I'm taking them. I'm rolling with Campbell. I like the guy. I like the team. I thought they looked good against Philadelphia. Give me the Lions minus 1.5. I'll take the Bengals minus, it was 6.5. I think it jumped to 7.5 versus Dallas. I don't love it at 7.5. I think that's a bad spot. I will be alt spreading that at 6.5. If I had to take it at 7.5, I'd probably take Dallas. I would. I definitely think I would. Vikings plus 1.5 versus the Eagles. I think the Vikings just outright win the game. I'm betting that. I have it in multiple parlays already. I like the Vikings to show up. I know you do not like Kirk, but
Not in prime time. And if it's a 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock game when there's a bunch of games being played, the dude's basically Joe Montana.
Yeah, I mean, I get it for sure. And that's the most valid argument you can make because I have no rebuttal to it because it's factual, completely factual. That being said, I'm putting all my chips in on the Vikings to cover plus 1.5. And Bills versus Titans, I like the Bills to cover 9.5 against the Titans, which usually when you're giving that many points in the NFL, I take the points. This time I'm not. Give them away. The Titans stink. Freaking terrible. Okay? They're terrible. That being said, my last bet is also with this game. Give me a Devin Singletary anytime touchdown.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right. How many total plays do you have? Just curious.
Let me see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
Okay. All right, I'll get into my card. I have 18 total plays. I'm going to give you 17, and my 18th will be my best bet. Chiefs minus 4.5. Already talked about it. Chiefs Chargers over 54.5. Already talked about it. I'm taking the Lions too, minus 1.5. I think the Lions and Dan Campbell are still hungry for that first win. They want to get some validation to say that they're not just the team that's going to, fight and lose. They're a team that can win. I think the Lions offense looked pretty good last week, and I think the Jaguars or the Commanders got lucky to beat the Jaguars. So give me the Lions. Jets, Browns, give me the under 40.5. Again, this is a game where I can just tell you the quarterbacks, Joe Flacco and Jacoby Brissett. If that doesn't scream under, then I don't know what does. Bucks, minus 2.5. Already told you about it. Give me the Lurs at home.
Yeah.
Protect the act. Give me Steelers money line plus 102. Patriots are not a good football team. They might have a great coach, and everyone still thinks I think everyone's just still has when they think Patriots, they just think dynasty. They're not that same team anymore. That dynasty is dead. I think it's a low scoring game, but the Steelers pull away. With that being said, I'm also taking the Patriots and Steelers under 40.5. Both have good defenses. Patriots, bad offense. I'll put them in the bad category. I'll put the Steelers in the average offense category.
Average.
I'll put them in the average.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put them in the average for right now. I mean, they scored. They scored. I mean, I know one was a defensive touchdown, but they still scored 20-some points last week, right?
They stink on offense.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Dolphins plus 3.5. Already talked about it. These are two bets I'm going flip brain on. Okay?
Okay.
These are just stay with me. I'm going flip brain. Falcons plus 10.5. I hate this. I hate betting this. I understand it's a lot of points and it makes sense that way, but everything is telling me to take the Rams here. The Rams have had a longer layoff. They played last Thursday. That's a long layoff. The Falcons just played Sunday. So the Rams have had more time to prepare. It's all they're coming off a stinging loss in their own building. So I love the Rams. Everything's telling me to take them. When I have that feeling, I always go opposite. Give me the Falcons. The Falcons look great through three quarters.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It was at home, but they look like a great football team. They look like they can play with anyone through three quarters. They just got to finish. I love what they're doing with Mariota with the read option stuff. Feel like he's still athletic enough to do it. And then the one that goes with that, flip brain, I'm taking the 49ers minus 9.5 at home. Stay with me here. Seahawks look good. They looked really good last week. The 49ers looked really bad last week. The NFL has a way of teams like from week to week flipping.
Mhm.
One team they'll look great one week, they'll look bad the other. That's what I'm hoping for in this one. They flip. The Seahawks lost probably their best defensive player in Jamal Adams. Seahawks, that was an emotional win. I think everyone could tell after that game it was an emotional win to beat Wilson like that. And I also think the Seahawks got really lucky in that game. The Broncos fumbled twice inside the 5. I don't think that was a clear-cut win by Seattle, and I think they got a little lucky.
Mhm.
I don't think the Geno Smith we saw on Monday night will be the Geno Smith we see throughout the season. I think he had a long time to prepare for that game, and he was ready for it. I don't know if he'll be like that week to week. So give me the 49ers minus 9.5. This is my must bet. Okay. This is not for everyone to must bet. This is for me to must bet. Just to get into my mind about how I bet with my Cowboys. If they're favored, I always bet the other team to cover. That way, if they don't cover, if they're a favorite and they don't cover, I have bet insurance. I at least make money if they lose.
Mhm.
Right? If they're a dog, I always take them. Because in this situation, I want the Cowboys to tank. I want them to get their doors blown off by Joe Burrow by 50. I want
Mhm.
I want people to text me and say, "How aren't you embarrassed about this?" And I'm going to say, "I love it when they lose by 50." But I'm still taking the Cowboys plus 8.5, just in case they somehow get lucky. That line, I
Damn,
got
did
it.
it jump to 8.5?
I got it. I had that on Monday. That's where
Holy
it's.
crap.
Yeah. So I love it at 8.5. I don't love it. I shouldn't say it. I don't love it at 8.5, but that's my must bet. If I was really trying to bet, I'd probably take Cincinnati. I'd probably take Cincinnati up to 10.5. Just letting you know. We'll see what that's.
Okay.
We'll recap that game after the weekend.
Yep.
Texans, Broncos, give me the under 45.5. This Texans team is used to the AC. They have an AC practice facility. They have an AC stadium down there in Houston. They don't deal with the elevation well. The Texans defense looked good through three quarters, only giving up 3 points to the Colts. They give up a ton of rushing yards, but I think they'll be fine. The Broncos run game didn't impress me too much.
Yeah.
Monday,
Can I jump in on the Broncos really?
Go ahead.
Really? Okay. You pay your quarterback $255 million, right? Okay. And 4th and 6 in his return game to Seattle, 4th and 5, sorry, 4th and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And you line up McManus
For the
for a
longest,
64-yard field goal.
ridiculous.
And all I needed was a Denver money line. So not only did I get screwed from the Melvin Gordon fumble, the Javonte Williams fumble on the next drive, on both on the one. But you don't go for it there.
You had Seattle minus 6.5 in the thing. So
I'm talking a parlay I placed.
Yeah, okay.
I placed it on Monday
Well,
night.
talk about how mad I was. They finished with what, 13? Was it 13 points they finished with, or
16?
16.
Yep.
I had over 26.5 team total. They fumbled twice inside the 5. There's your 14 points. There's the over.
There's the over. Dude, I mean, it
was a heartbreaking loss.
Hackett should have had the fastest in and out of any coach in NFL history because of that. I truly believe that. He should have been in. There's your preseason. There's week 1.
Listen,
fired. See ya. What are we doing?
As a guy who's watched Jason Garrett and Mike McCarthy managed the clock for my favorite team for the past 12 years. That was really bad.
Dude,
That was
that was one of the worst things I could ever
yeah.
think of. Thank you for
Um,
letting me intervene there. I appreciate it.
Packers minus 9.5. I already talked about it. This is my watch game of the week. This is watch the weather. Bills team total over 30.5. It's plus 100. I'm gonna give it out right now. I saw there's a 60% chance of thunderstorms in Buffalo on Monday. We're recording this on Wednesday, so it's a long ways away. We don't really know what the weather's actually going to be like. Hunter, I will let you know if I'm going to take it off my card or keep it.
Okay.
But if the weather is clear by kickoff, I love that. I think the Bills are a team that's going to score over 30 points pretty much every game of the year. That offense is unbelievable. The defense gets off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles minus 1.5. Already talked about it. Vikings, Eagles under 51.5. And I will save my best bet for the best bet parlay. If you're ready, Hunter, we can just hop right into it.
Yeah, I'm ready. With mine again, I'm going to be rolling with another anytime touchdown. Um,
I mean, is this guy terrified to pick a side or what?
absolutely,
Terrified.
but
He doesn't want to let you down.
all a call. I'm not betting well, but college and the NFL, I'm 3 for 3 on these.
Okay.
I'm 3 for 3.
All right. All right.
Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown score Monday night in Buffalo. I think they get the doors blown off of them, but Henry's going to score. It's inevitable. He should have scored twice last week, but they want to bring in Hillard. I get it. They need to give an extra receiver to Tannehill because the receiving core is just terrible. Henry will score. Buffalo's run defense is nothing to really call home about. Henderson had a decent-ish outing against them with the first game of the year. I love Henry here to score. Let me get the odds for you as you're giving your pick.
I already got it. I already got
you
it.
got it?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Finish. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts.
Yep. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown score. Lock it in. We will be 4 for 4 on best bets after this.
Okay. My 18th and final pick of the weekend. I already talked about Mike McDaniel being an electric head coach that people want to play for. I think there's another guy like that who just took over, Brian Daboll, and this Giants team feels different. This is a team that will scrap. This is a team that will fight. Give me the Giants minus 1.5 at home. The Panthers aren't good. I tried to will a win out of them last week against Cleveland. Baker's not really great. The defense is not as good as you hope it would be on paper. The offensive line isn't really good besides Ike Ekwonu, and he's still a rookie finding his paces. Give me the Giants. I love Daboll. I think we saw a taste of what Daniel Jones could be. He was given enough chances to give them the lead and finally drove them down the field. I think if he just keeps progressing in his Daboll offense, I think this team could be not really good, but a team that you don't want to bet against.
So I love Daboll. I think Jones showed that he maybe could be decent.
Yes.
Barkley looked incredible.
I know.
He looked like the best back in football. I mean, he was that good. That being said, I don't care for your bet here. I think I personally like Carolina, but I'm rolling with it because that's what we do. We're a team over here with these best bets. So I will be riding and believing in you to close it out because Henry's getting his big ass in that end zone.
Yeah, well, if the Giants hit on Sunday, it'll come down to Monday night.
It may be 45-7, but that 7 will be from the freight train.
And you're going to be sweating out. I mean,
no sweat.
My whole thing with taking that is, what if like 2 plays into the game he twists his ankle?
Oh, then I'm
dead.
I'm cooked.
That's what I mean.
Absolutely.
So,
but I'm putting my faith in big freight train that's 6'4" from Bama to get busy.
Those 2 bets are plus 261 on FanDuel. A $50 bet nets you 130 in total winnings. Bet it. We're 1-0 in NFL best bets.
Yep.
And we'll move on. We'll wrap this episode up. We have a dollar and a dream. I think we have 15 games on this
13.
week.
13.
Yes, so I have 7 and you have 6, I believe.
Correct.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and kick it off. First game I have is the Commanders and Lions. Give me Antonio Gibson. I don't think he got in the end zone last
I'm
week, but the
putting
line.
the I'm going to be putting this in
Okay.
my phone as you do this. Sorry to interrupt.
Commanders, Lions, Antonio Gibson. The Lions surrendered 216 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns last week to the Eagles. Now the Eagles do have a great offensive line and some great backs, but I still like them to punch it in. Gibson had 14 carries in week 1, and Robinson's not a go yet. So
Mm-hmm.
I think Gibson's still going to get the lion's share. I'd be surprised if he doesn't end up with another 14 or 15 carry performance.
I
Do you just
like
want me
it.
to keep going while you punch?
Yeah, good.
Bucks, Saints, give me Russell Gage. I think he steps into that Chris Godwin role. He was limited last week due to a hamstring. This is one maybe you watched. You hear some news and notes as the week goes on. If he's not healthy, if he's not trending well, maybe you sub someone else in. But I think if he's healthy, Russell Gage is going to be the slot guy. Brady loves the slot guys. He does have he last week against the Cowboys, he had 2 targets and 2 catches. I think Brady loves reliability. He's going to look for him in the red zone. Patriots, Steelers, Chase Claypool. Give me Claypool. I hate the Patriots offense. There was no
Interesting.
chance I'm taking a Patriots player. This is a fan brain type thing. I think Claypool is a terrible football player away from home. I always feel
Mm-hmm.
like when he plays on the road, I don't know if he just is up all night in the hotel playing Nintendo or something, but he's so bad. When they play on the road, he's so bad. When they play at home, he looks like one of the best receivers in football. So
Mm-hmm.
give me Chase Claypool to score it. Claypool actually had 6 carries in week 1 with Najee a little banged up. Maybe he has that same amount. And he had 6 passing targets. So I think they're getting him involved pretty well. Ravens, Dolphins. Give me Tyreek Hill. I took him last week. He had 13 total targets. It's hard to keep this guy out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I think McDaniel could be maybe a little bit more better in the red zone. I know the Dolphins actually didn't get in the red zone all too much, but I think they need to get a little more creative with him once they move the ball down the field, try to get the ball in his hands in space. But I still love Tyreek Hill to score. 49ers, Seahawks. Give me Debo. Elijah Mitchell's out. And then uh, the running backs that they still have on the roster don't impress me at all. Jeff Wilson Jr., Jordan Mason, Tyrion Davis. I think that's how you.
He's a rookie and
Yeah.
he hasn't did much, and he's been hurt.
So I think Debo's going to probably basically be the number 1 back and number one receiver next week.
Yep.
Give me Debo to just touch the ball a lot and probably score. Texans Broncos. Javonte Williams. The Texans gave up 177 rushing yards last week and a rushing touchdown. Give me Javonte to score. He looked great. He got the ball a lot. He had 19 total touches
Mm-hmm.
against Seattle. He did fumble at the like the 5 or 4 yard line,
Oh yeah,
whatever.
he
That
did.
was devastating, but I think that'll only motivate him more to get back in the end zone. And my last pick, Bears Packers. Give me Aaron Jones. Jones
I
is.
love that
I
pick.
looked at the target share. His target share was just way too low in week 1. This guy's a great running back. He's probably
Mm-hmm.
top 10 in the league. He only had 8 total touches. Now I get AJ Dillon is coming on and he's a great power back and can run between the tackles really good. Aaron Jones is too valuable not to touch the ball at least 12 times a game. So I think Aaron Jones, I could just see it now. The Packers are already up like 28-7, and there's a little swing pass right before half, and no one's there to stop him. He gets to the corner. So give me Aaron Jones.
I love your picks. So really quick before I get into mine, we're gonna have to give you guys odds as these player props come out. They're not out yet,
Yes.
so we can't punch them in. We will make sure
Mm-hmm.
we get them out to you before
Yeah.
Sunday. That being said, I'm going to jump into mine. Jets versus Browns. I love Michael Carter. He
Yeah.
looked great. He looked fantastic. Brees Hall's really not doing a whole lot. I know he caught like 4 passes and had like 10 fantasy points, whatever he did. Michael Carter's for sure the one there,
Yeah.
though.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that's the
He
guy that's
looked
going to get
great.
the
He looked
carries.
great
Give me
last
Michael
week.
Carter against the Browns. Plus, the 2 quarterbacks stink. So they're both going to be trying to pound the ball down each
Yeah.
other's throat. So I will be taking Michael Carter there. With my next one, Panthers versus Giants. I know I just told you I didn't like your Giants pick, but that being said, give me Barkley. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
dude, if he stays healthy, he's
He looked
trending
really good.
so high. He looked incredible. His burst of speed, it looks like if you watched him run, you'd say this guy never tore nothing. I mean, he looks as
Yeah.
fresh could get. So give me Barkley. My next one, Colts Jaguars. Give me Christian Kirk. He had a great game. He didn't get in the end zone, but he went for over 100 yards. I think he had 7 catches. It's only a matter of time before him and Lawrence really start clicking. I know the Colts secondary is decent.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if Davis Mills and that Texans crew is going to throw for 250 yards and they're going to keep it interesting, why can't Lawrence and Kirk do it? So I love Christian Kirk here. Rams Falcons, I'm going Cooper Kupp. It's the easiest pick there is. He's going to score for sure. I'd assume he's always open. He's just like Justin Jefferson. Even when you think he's guarded, he somehow finds a way to be wide open. And you're wondering, what are we doing here on defense? Kupp will score a touchdown. I love Kupp here. Bengals Cowboys, give me Joe Mixon. I think
I think if you're going to score on the Cowboys, it's going to be a pass. I think the run defense is very good.
It is, but
I think Jamar Chase would be a lock.
He probably is. I like Mixon just to switch it up because I think I took Chase last week when I picked.
Yeah. Oh, I took Mixon. Mixon was one of my picks.
Okay, so I will be taking Mixon here as well. It's only a matter of time before the guy gets in the end zone. I mean, he looked good against the Steelers. He was about the only solid piece on offense besides Chase that did his job and did what he's supposed to. I think even though their run D is good, everyone lets up rushing touchdowns. He will find his way into the end zone. With my last one here, Raiders Cardinals, I'm falling back on what you picked last week. Give me Josh Jacobs. Great spot here for Jacobs. They did not establish the run last week as they were supposed to. And I think that this week, maybe McDaniels hopefully learned something and they're going to come out and start that early. I think Jacobs will get into the end zone. I wouldn't have hated Devontae Adams or Waller. I mean, how do you go wrong with any of the three, really? But I like Jacobs. I think that he's due. He's going to get fed a little bit more. I'm anticipating somewhere in the 18 to 20 carries. And I think he will find the end zone.
I hope he gets that many.
I hope so too. But yep, that's the dollar and a dream. And we don't have odds for that yet. I'm assuming it will be somewhere within $1 to the 100,000 minimum range.
Oh, at
if
least.
It hits. And we will get those odds out to you and let you know what $1 pays as soon as we get them.
All right, man. Another good episode.
Absolutely, buddy.
Guys, like, follow, subscribe, help us out.
Please.
Just trying to have some fun, grow a little following here. So
yep, we're on TikTok and Twitter, Pack Boys Podcast. Go follow, like, share, do whatever you want. But thanks for watching.
Yep, go watch some football, guys.